Is Ukraine Army headed for the worst amid reports of desertions by soldiers? A top Russian envoy has claimed that Kyiv has no resources to feed its army of 800,000 personnel, cited by Volodymyr Zelensky as one of the 20 points discussed in the Ukraine peace plan. Miroshnik claimed that the Ukrainian army would be fed by someone else who will use the forces to attack Russia. Earlier, Russia Today reported that Ukrainian troops were using gas pipelines to the European Union to avoid fighting against Russia. There have been media reports of draft evaders using fake disability certificates to avoid fighting in the war. The Russian envoy's remark comes amid Moscow continuing its aerial attacks on Ukraine. A person was killed and 8 others injured after a Russian drone hit a residential building in Chernihiv. Russian drones also hit Kherson, killing 1 person and injuring another. On Thursday night, a person was killed and 2 injured in a Russian strike on Odessa. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky shared updates over his conversation with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner on the peace efforts.
Сьогодні ж практично годину говорили з представниками президента Сполучених Штатів Америки. Ми говорили зі Стівом Віткофом та Джаредом Кушнером. І це була справді хороша розмова, багато деталей. Є хороші ідеї, ми їх обговорили. Є деякі наші нові ідеї, як наблизити реальний мир. І це стосується форматів, це стосується зустрічей, безумовно, таймінгу. Сьогодні Рустем Умєров ще буде говорити з американською командою. Важливо, якщо у нас вийде організувати те, про що ми говорили сьогодні. І вже готові деякі документи. Я бачу, що вони готові майже повністю. Деякі документи готові. Звісно, щодо сенситивних питань ще треба попрацювати, але ми разом з американською командою розуміємо, як це все забезпечити. Найближчі тижні теж можуть бути інтенсивними.
According to the Associated Press, Zelensky said he would be willing to withdraw troops from the country's eastern industrial heartland as part of a plan to end Russia's war if Moscow also pulls back and the area becomes a demilitarized zone monitored by international forces. Zelensky mentioned several key points in the peace draft, such as the Ukrainian army remaining at a peacetime level of 800,000, membership in the European Union, and European forces under the leadership of France and the UK, and with a backstop from Washington, ensuring Ukraine's security in the air, on land, and at sea.
No end to Volodymyr Zelensky's troubles as Russia pounds Ukrainian cities. Amid Russian aerial attacks and peace negotiations, Ukraine is battling acute troops shortage. Several Ukrainians are using defunct gas pipelines to evade service in the war against Russia. According to Russia Today, Ukrainian authorities have detained 8 people on suspicion of human trafficking across several regions. A 62-year-old man in Transcarpathia was among those arrested for allegedly transporting military-aged men to an abandoned gas pipeline and guided them across the border in exchange for payments. In another development, a former law enforcement officer is suspected of selling fake disability certificates to men seeking to evade service. There have been reports of 2 men allegedly guiding camouflage-clad draft evaders to the European Union through the forest. According to the Russian media, Ukrainian border service spokesperson Andriy Demchenko claimed that more than 13,000 people had been detained between January and August alone while trying to leave the country illegally. Since the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in 2022, dozens have lost their lives attempting to leave through forests, rivers, and mountainous terrain. The development comes amid Ukraine receiving a major EU loan worth 90 billion euros or $106 billion to meet Kyiv's military and economic needs for the next 2 years.
Well, a significant milestone. About 90 billion. Without them, it would be much, much harder, much more complicated.
It's a lot, to properly understand the project. 45 billion, an interest-free loan. In any event, this is linked to Russian war reparations.
In any given situation. And these are truly crucial steps. The fact that European leaders managed to find such a format, the fact that our team worked simultaneously with Europe towards a positive resolution.
Because for us it is about strength. This sends a very clear signal to the Russians that there is absolutely no point for them to continue fighting, because and with consistent financial support, it means that we will not crumble or fall apart on the front lines. Yes, we will continue to unconditionally support our brave army and our resilient people.
This pace cannot be achieved without the commitment that I deeply respect. As President of Poland, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who is essentially a guarantee for resolving these matters, naturally with the participation of Ukraine posterity, while preserving its territorial integrity and the security of the entire region. However, we are well aware, ladies and gentlemen, that Donald Trump is the only leader in the world who is truly prepared to compel Vladimir Putin, who consistently fails to honor agreements. As we know, he is ready to force Vladimir Putin to sign a peace treaty. We stand here today with President Zelensky with a profound understanding of the precise nature of our strategic security objectives. We perceive the Russian Federation as a neo-imperial post-Soviet state, which represents a significant threat to Ukraine, to Poland, and indeed to the entirety of Europe. And being aware of Poland's great support for Ukraine, this did not raise the slightest doubt among us.